Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crusher TV episode 14. We've had a little break for the summer because so many people were away, busy with kids, and it's been like a total zoo everywhere. It's been a total zoo at my house because I've had to get the small person settled into nursery, and it's been super busy going back and forth for visits and all that stuff. This is the first time we're doing the show on the business page, mainly because I was doing it in our group beforehand, and I decided to open it out to more people so that we can really just broaden our reach and just help more people grow their businesses faster. I'm really excited today. The show is going to actually normally be happening on Fridays later on in the afternoon so that more people are actually awake. But we've slotted in an extra episode today because we're mums and we have these crazy timetables that we operate to. We decided that we would pick a different time for this one. So I'm joined today by the wonderful Yael, who's here to talk to us about LinkedIn. Some of you may have seen my post, if you're friends with me on Facebook, on my personal profile, that I was like, yay, I've been on LinkedIn for the first time in 5 years or so. What do I do now? So I was asking for tips. I was asking for people to connect with me because all of the people that I still had on LinkedIn were back from when I was working in education. So if I needed a job in a nursery, like to run it or build it up or whatever, I probably could get one of those, but it was like completely irrelevant to my business. I have absolutely no idea about how to use LinkedIn. My clients aren't really, as in my potential clients are possibly there, but we're not using it right now, and I feel like that's where we can really improve. So yeah, do you want to get everyone up to speed to who you are and what you do, and then we can move on to LinkedIn and get started?
Sure. So hi, I'm Yael Bendahan. I'm a mom of 4 boys, and I live in Israel now. Although I'm American, so that is why I speak English. And everyone says, oh wow, your English is so good. I'm like, yes. So I'm a digital marketing strategist. So I love ads and funnels are my favorite, but I also do social media and LinkedIn sometimes as part of social media. And chatbots are my new kind of like thing I'm playing with because they're just so much fun, right? So I find LinkedIn is super, super valuable. I learned this from one of my mentors, Rachel Peterson, and she was like, yeah, you need to be on LinkedIn. And to be honest, it's very corporate, and I never had this corporate kind of experience. I never really worked, in a business, except for, as a secretary for a few months when I just got married. So I always felt very intimidated by the idea of LinkedIn. I'm like, look, everyone on there is so professional, and I'm not professional. I'm like just a mom, and But then when I actually listened to her, which you should do those things like do hashtag do what Russell says. So there's always do what Julie says, do what Rachel says, because just listen to her. Because when I started actually putting my effort into LinkedIn, I was just telling Jessica I could get 3 to 4 leads a week just from LinkedIn. So so when Jessica put something out saying, ooh, does anyone know how to use LinkedIn? I was like, so I got really excited about it because it's ridiculously valuable, especially for the people in our industry.
So who else apart from, we all work on very similar things. That's how we know each other because, at the end of the day, we've got the same aim as far as helping our clients go. So who do you think is going to benefit most from LinkedIn? Because I think I had the same idea that it was super corporate, and I'm like the anti-corporate. So I'm literally, even when I was working, my job wasn't exactly corporate. It was children. So right. I've never really felt at home on LinkedIn. So who else is it going to work for? We do digital marketing. Who else do you know has had good success on LinkedIn?
Well, pretty much anybody who does any sort of B2B work should be on LinkedIn, okay? Because everyone on LinkedIn is a business owner, essentially, or part of a business, and that's that's basically what it's for. So if you serve businesses in any way, then that's where you need to be. And that can, obviously us as digital marketers, every business is marketing, even the corporate ones, and a lot of, surprisingly, a lot of businesses that are still very successful have very little online footprint or doing anything to market themselves online, and they could scale in amazing ways if they just knew how, right? So I found that targeting those people People, the great thing about LinkedIn is you can target specific industries. If you're like, oh, I love working in, I'd love to work with beauty brands or with things like that, you can target just those people. And it's just really up to you. Like the sky's pretty much the limit. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people on LinkedIn. And the important thing is, I think, to make sure you're connecting with the right people, like the people you want to connect with. And then obviously there's a few other parts to it, like to make sure that you are also attracting the kind of people you want to work with.
Yeah. So if we've got a LinkedIn profile and it's got a load of cobwebs on it, like mine did, or if we haven't got one yet because we've never considered going on LinkedIn, what are like the top 3 things that you would say, right, this is what you need to do to your profile to like have it not suck really badly?
Okay. So, well, first of all, you want to have a really nice, I can't even tell you 3 things. There's more than 3 things. I'm going to just tell you all of them.
Just hit them all
okay, it's the top things that you need to worry about. Okay, obviously, professional photo, a nice cover photo, can either have, your name of your business or whatever it is you do, something that looks professional. And then what you want to do is have your profile in a few different ways represent exactly what you do and who you are. So, for example, like in your description, right, this is the description of what you do, right? Like, what is your title? So I wouldn't write like CEO of Jessica, like marketing or whatever that is, right? I would say, I help businesses generate, like that's mine. Mine says I help businesses generate leads and sales, through digital marketing, right? So people can actually look when you comment on other people's things, that's what shows up. So you want people to know exactly what you do when they just look at your name. And then the important thing to do is to use keywords that you think your ideal clients will be looking for. So if you're looking for marketing, use that a lot in your profile, social media, because some businesses, a lot of businesses are kind of starting to realize that like we probably should jump in the social media bandwagon. So I should find someone who does social media, and they and they'll notice that, or even like Facebook ads or whatever. They're like, wow, you can advertise on Facebook. I didn't realize you could do this. And so you want to basically, it's kind of like Pinterest in a way, like where you have to put the keywords for what you want to show up for. So you want to do that too. Okay. Now, the important thing to do, I think, in your description and both in your experience, right? So in your experience, it says, the jobs that you've done. So take away anything that is not relevant to what you're doing now. So if you worked as a childcare, that's great. Just take it out, because you don't want people even associating you with that anymore, right? You don't want jobs like that, and there's no point.
Yeah.
And it confuses people, to be honest, right? It's like, okay, she was a nursery teacher, and now she does marketing. Like, where'd she even learn that? And like, what's going on? So like, you can just literally just do any jobs you've had that have to do with what you're doing now. You as the CEO, you could put CEO of, just for doing marketing, and any jobs you've had with other companies, like head of marketing or chief Facebook ad strategist or whatever that is. You can put that into. And I think the most important thing to do is to stack your wins. And this is also a Rachel thing. She's like very, very, very big on LinkedIn. And stacking your wins is basically collect, kind of make a list of different wins you've had for your clients. You've gotten this, our return on ad spend, or you've generated this many leads in this many days, or whatever it is. Just make a list. And then what you want to do is just stack those all together to make this really impressive looking profiles. People are like, whoa, she did this and this and this and this. That's amazing, and you can put that in your profile, in the description, and in your experience. For example, in your business now, like in the experience section, our business has done this, and we've gotten this, and we've built funnels, and we've done like that, whatever it is you did. You can do that. Also, your network can be your win. If you're part of Julie's Digital Insiders, so putting in that you're part of a high-level mastermind with like top digital marketers in the industry and whatever that is, also adds to your credibility. Right? So those, if you make nice bullet points, a little hack I use is you can't actually make bullet points. You can't use bullet points in LinkedIn profiles, but you can use emojis. So
okay, yeah, so you can just copy anyone you like.
You can just copy any emoji you like. I like the like the muscle arm, because it like looks cool. And just put like bullet points of like whatever you can think of, and add as much as you like. That is super, super important. And of course, you want to be endorsed for different things, and you can reach out to your network of people and say, do you mind endorsing me? I'll endorse you in whatever areas you want to be. So it's, whether it's marketing, social media, funnels, digital, and there's a lot of different kind of versions of each one, right? Digital marketing, content marketing, all that kind of stuff. And you can actually move them around to kind of put the ones that you find most important. I think you put the 3 most, the ones you want to be like ranked foremost at the top.
Yeah.
So you can do that too. So you basically want your profile to like scream to everybody exactly what you do. And that's, that's what they see.
Boom.
Yes.
I like that.
I know it's a lot, but and you can continually optimize it. You get more wins, you have more things going on, add them, because the more people see, the more impressive it looks, right? And it's they want to have like faith that you've gotten results, you can do things for them too. And that's how you kind of show it off in a way.
Yeah, and it's not too bad, because really the most of it is a one-off thing to do, and then like you said, you can add and optimize, but you don't have to go back to this over and over again. So even if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, well, I have to do all of this stuff, like, don't get put off, because you put in that effort once. Like I was just looking at my YouTube stats last night, and in the last month we've had like nearly 20,000 watch minutes, but that was an effort over like a long period of time. It wasn't like this just happened overnight. So that you set it at once, and then you just keep adding to it. So yeah, Don't get put off if you're thinking, wow, like I am totally shocked about what
it's worth the time. It's definitely worth the time to put in, because then once you start moving on, you're going to want to have also recommendations, put your skills, any certifications you have, whatever you've got, put it there, as long as it has to do with what you want to be known for. Okay. And that is super important, because your profile is like the foundation of LinkedIn, because you can connect with loads and loads of people, but if your profile doesn't tell them exactly what you do from the second they look at it, then there's no point, because they'll glance and be like, oh, not just another connection, and move on. But if they've been even thinking about it for a second, like, ooh, maybe we can use some help with our marketing, or we can use some help with our online presence, and they see yours, like, oh, what a coincidence, wow, they just she's just connected with me, and maybe I'll ask her what she does and how she can help me. So that is very that's the foundation of LinkedIn, is your profile.
So how do you choose who you actually connect with? Do you actively go out and request to connect with people? How do we make most use of our connections? Because I know with some things that happen that I personally don't like, and I'm like, oh, okay, I think they could be, making a little bit more effort if they're reaching out to me to obviously then try and, start a conversation with me. So what do you think is the key things we need to remember when we're making connections with people?
Okay, so the important thing to remember is you want to connect with the decision makers in a business. So the CEO, president, founder, partner, even if it's like CMO or something like that. But like, the truth is, I wouldn't really go to the marketing directors, just because they might feel like you're trying to take over their thing. So any type of like C-level executives, or founder, president, whatever that is, that's what I search for. Okay, and because you want to connect with those people. They're the ones who essentially have the most vested interest in growing their business as much as possible, right? And then once you do connect, so I send out, as soon as I connect, then I send out a message. I kind of put together a few different templates for different types of people, but for the most part, my first message is, hi, it's so great to connect with you. I'd love to hear more about you and your business. What have you been working on lately that you're really excited about? Okay. Now, a lot of times people don't answer. Like, I'd say probably about 70% of the time, people just don't even bother answering, or they'll answer me like 6 months later. I'm not even kidding. Like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, like, oh, we connected a while ago.
It's probably because they don't use LinkedIn like I do. I found birthday messages. Honestly, I felt like it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, because I literally found like 50 birthday messages from people, and my birthday's in May, and it was like 3 years worth of birthday messages. So I was like, oh, hi, thanks so much to say happy birthday, and for the year before, and for the year before that, thank you. So that's
very true.
It's very funny conversations though. So it's just one of those things, right? Not everyone checks, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not interested in what you do, or they don't like you. We're really quick to jump to this judgment that, well, maybe they don't like it, or maybe I shouldn't be connecting with these people because they're not interested. No, maybe they just don't check their LinkedIn, like, ever. And maybe they will do.
Or once a month, or once, exactly. So, I don't worry too much when people don't answer, because they're obviously, like, listen, I'm not gonna kind of waste my emotional energy on that, So I try also not to make it too personal. I'll search for like, CEOs, or I think it's like CEO, or president, or founder, or partner, or something like that. I think there's like the way to search for it in the thing, and then I choose whatever industries I want. So either it could be real estate one day, it could be beauty, whatever it is. I like to kind of work with different kinds of businesses, because I get a little bit bored of doing the same exact. I think if I only concentrate on one industry, I get a little bit like kind of just
like, oh, another one of this to sell, and you'll be like, oh, I've just finished one of these. It's like, can I do something different?
Exactly. Exactly. So I like to kind of switch it up. I don't always target the same kinds of people, and I had all different kinds. So then once you just kind of like go through it and connect. People say to send, a lot of people say to send a message with your connection. I've also heard that, like, statistic wise, if people are less likely to connect with you if you send a connection message, unless it's specifically, hey, I met this person who we both know and they mentioned you, and so there's like a real connection there. Then those like little messages seem very like pitchy already, like from the second you like haven't even connected and you're already pitching me, right? So just connecting is fine. And then you send out that first message, like asking about them. Obviously, you want to be interested in them, and then you kind of start the conversation from there. When I'm in real like hardcore lead gen mode, I just put out like a hi. This is what I do. I have a template, and I customize it for each person. Like, I noticed that you do this. I'll put something I love about their business, or something that I found really interesting, or whatever that is, or something I noticed. And then it's like, this is what I do, etc. I help businesses generate blah, 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 and I'd love to know if you are interested in whatever. Now, obviously, like I said, like this is also a numbers game. So the more you send out, the more likely you're going to get messages back. But I've gotten quite a few, or even so one person literally connected with me and booked a call with me straight from my profile without even saying anything, like without even messaging me, because she goes, oh my gosh, I connected with you and I saw that this is what you do, and like she booked a call, which was amazing.
Well, but sometimes it's just meant to be like that, right? Like like I've had people that I've just come across, like I was thinking, oh man, I really need to work on that, and then I'll get onto Facebook, and then 10 minutes later I see somebody's post about just what I need to be working on, and I've kind of seen them around for a while, and suddenly I'm like, I'm just gonna book a call with them. Like, I'm not even gonna bother like messaging them first. So and I can put out something. If you have an issue with selling or connecting with people that you don't know, so one of the ladies in my mastermind is Renee Reba, and she is freaking amazing at, she basically teaches all about sales, but for women, because we don't do this whole thing of like, hi, boom, like coming in with the front door, sort of like swinging in. And she actually, in her program, I don't know, I think the doors may have unfortunately closed now. I can't quite remember, but check it out. It's called Sell Like a Mother, and it's flipping amazing, because she literally teaches you how to actually genuinely connect with people and then turn that connection into sales. Without having to feel like you are, always hustling your stuff, coming in with, your things in your coat, being like, hello, do you want to buy this? So if you want to know how to sell without being weird, like that might be something to check out too. So I'll drop the link afterwards, but I found it super helpful to just change my perception. So if you feel uncomfortable about connecting with people you don't know, check her out, because she'll get you sorted in no time. She'll literally get you.
She is fantastic. I love her. And it's so true. It's about, people think because LinkedIn is so corporate, it has to be completely businesses, but it's not true. Okay, because LinkedIn is connections. That's the word. It's making new connections. And so you have to actually connect with the people you're connecting with. So like I said, if I'm like, okay, I need to get like a couple more clients in the pipeline like right now, then I won't bother with that as much, and I'll be like, okay, I'm letting you know what I do. And a lot of times people still respond, they're like, okay, that's really interesting, or they'll just pitch me back. Because it happens a lot. It happens a lot, and I'm like, thank you very much. Okay, understood. But for the most part, usually I don't sell in the first message. Usually you try to make the connection, start a conversation. Like, what do you do? What do you do? And the important thing is to show interest in them specifically. And what they're doing.
People are always more likely to reply to you if you show any kind of interest in them. So if you come in and it's all about you, like a lot of our communications, and we don't realize it's all about us. Like, I'll sometimes put something out and I'm like, oh, this wasn't really for anyone else, right? I just fancied like writing about that. And it didn't really, so there was no intention behind it. So if our intention is focused on the people that we're wanting to help, and then we start a conversation around that, then it makes them so much more likely to even get back to us and not become one of those bunch of people that just never reply. So that works an awful lot. So we've connected with people. We are sending the messages when we're connecting. Our profiles are optimized. What else do we have to do on LinkedIn, like on the regular, to actually get our name out there? Because sometimes people connect with you, right? And the time to work together is not right now, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to come and look out for you when they do need something. So, so what do we do? I know Facebook so well because I've been on it for so long. It's like I'm starting to work out a lot more about Instagram and what works and what doesn't. But that's where I feel super foreign on LinkedIn, because all of the stuff that comes up, I'm just like, here's some blog post I wrote. Here's some blog post I wrote. So what do we do? What do we actually put out there from a content perspective that's going to help us?
Okay, so the first thing to do is you definitely want to have a few good articles up there. You can definitely repurpose your blog posts as articles, but having that also kind of on your profile also adds like layer of credibility to you, like you really do know what you're talking about. That's number one. So you want to have like that kind of also foundation on your profile. Like I said, it overly comes down to your profile, right? That woman would never have booked a call with me if my call, it hadn't been so easy to book and she hadn't seen exactly what I do right there, you know? So, you know, so obviously it does come back to your profile a lot, but you also want to, I'm very bad at this. I've been very bad at posting on my social media lately, especially this summer. But posting regularly on LinkedIn, and I'll tell you why this is so important, because the lifespan of a post on LinkedIn is much longer than anywhere else, right? In Twitter, it's like 3 seconds, right? And on like Facebook, it's like until the next post, you know, and, you know, Instagram also, like hashtags, they just go by really, really fast. But the lifespan I posted something, and then like 2 weeks later, I saw it had like almost 2,000 views. And I was like, whoa, you know, I didn't even have, like, at the time, I didn't even have 2,000 connections, but people really loved it. It was like really this really funny, it's just a funny story about my son. Like he woke me up early in the morning, and I started like mumbling to him about like what he's using for his funnel, you know, and I was saying how, like, you're lucky when like you're actually dreaming about the stuff you do for work, and
it's a positive dream and not a big nightmare.
Exactly. And I was like, and my husband just started laughing at me because I heard him saying to my son, like, you know, no, don't listen to mommy, just go back to bed, you know. And like I woke up later, I'm like, I heard you tell him not to listen to me. Why did you tell him not to listen to me? I was telling him something. He's like, you were asking what he was using for his funnel. I didn't think like that was, you know, applicable to what he was asking you. I was like, okay, fine. You know? So I put that up with like a picture of a baby on a computer, you know, and it was just so funny, and people loved it. And it, you know, so the important thing is, I think, to post, number one, anything educational. If you want like delivering value, people love it, right? And especially when it comes from your experience. Like I just, you know, I had this experience for the day. This is what happened, and this is either like the 3 things you can learn from it. Like people also like lists, right? So, you know, if you want to have like a couple of takeaways that I got from this experience, or from speaking to this person, or I went to this lecture and this is what I got. So that is always a fantastic thing to put up. I have a friend of mine who actually lives in my neighborhood. She's a fantastic copywriter, and she's killing it on LinkedIn. Her posts are just always so valuable. Whenever I see one, I'm going to read it, like without a question. And she gets hundreds of comments and likes and everything, because she delivers genuine value, like on the regular. Also, obviously, a new thing on LinkedIn is video. There's a live video option, and you can upload videos, and it's becoming more and more popular.
I was going to ask about that, because I have so many videos that are over on YouTube that I think could benefit people over there too. And I was thinking, like, is there a space for me to put my videos? So I need to have a look where that is.
Yes, there is. I think you can upload them natively to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, you know, they love that. And obviously people like videos. Videos go very far, and you can get tons and tons of views on those. It's becoming more and more of a thing. It didn't used to be, right? Because like I said, it's relatively corporate of all the platforms. But now people are delivering a lot of value in their videos, and it's been fantastic. The response has been amazing.
Yeah, and I think if we bear in mind as well, so if we're connecting with people who are mainly people in charge of the business, they have a completely different outlook. Like I find we're a lot more goal oriented, right? So if we're connecting with other people on like a professional platform rather than on Facebook, we can actually focus on the stuff that's going to move their business forward. And if you save people time and you deliver stuff in like the most condensed fashion possible and give them value, that's going to, I find, always rank you higher, because the busier the person gets, you have to remember they haven't got all day to sit on social media. You know, they're maybe taking some downtime, or maybe they're looking for some information, or they're stuck with something and they're looking for some ideas. So if you don't cost them more time, because that's what I find happens a lot, we kind of cost people more time than we deliver value in return. And the one thing we can't get back in life is our time. So I think that's where delivering that value really comes in. And if you bear in mind who you're talking to,
Exactly.
Then you're thinking, okay,
Yeah.
if I had 10 minutes with Richard Branson, what would I go and tell him? You probably wouldn't say, well, you know, yesterday my dog, and you wouldn't probably go into all of this thing to then make one point. You would just be like, yeah, well, you know, so this, and this, right? And they'll be like, yeah, this, and this. And it's a lot more condensed conversation. So that's something that I learned an awful lot about recently.
Right. And that's very different from Facebook, right? Because Facebook is essentially a social platform. So you'll be posting about your life, you'll be posting about your dog and about, you know, the party you went to last night, and also business stuff, right? But either way, it's a mix, you know. And I mean, there's some people who keep their Facebooks, you know, pages, their profiles like strictly business stuff. Which I know Julie Storian does that, right? It's pretty much like family, but it always ties into business somehow, right? There's always like something there that, like, you know, there's always a purpose to what she posts, for sure. I'm a little more loose about it because I love posting like parenting related things that make people laugh. Yeah, that's you know, and you know what? The truth is, I've heard over the years, for years and years, I think probably for the past 10 years, people literally, like my cousins in England, or my cousin, you know, my family in America, like, I just love your Facebook. Like, I just love everything you post. And, you know, and I'm like, you know what, that's the point of Facebook in a way, is also to post things that will, you know, either educate people or entertain them, make them laugh, make them feel something. And that also kind of represents who you are, because what you post represents who you are. So obviously on LinkedIn, the stuff you want to post on there, you want that to represent who you are professionally.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can also post about your mission, your vision for your business. You know, like, people you've met, you know, who've told you something amazing, or even inspirational quotes. I mean, it's a little bit overdone, you know, like on Instagram stuff, but an inspirational quote with what you've learned, or how you apply the inspirational quote to your life. Yeah. You know, you want it to be super valuable. People can like look through it, be like, wow, that's something to think about, you know, and move on to the next thing, but you want them to think about it. So I find it's much more like to the point on there, more than other platforms.
I'm kind of starting to be sold on this, particularly bearing in mind that people are like being shut down left, right, and center, giving value on their business on Facebook, which is turning into a bit of a joke, particularly when you have children and you have personal friends that you've met through your business. So like, if I look through all of my friends right now, I have my friends from back home, you know, from back in the day. And then I have everyone that I've met through running a business that have now become my friends. It mixes up your life. Like, I can never separate. Like, last night I'm sitting there, the baby needs to fart, poop, whatever. He can't sleep. He's screaming his head off. It's midnight. I finally got him off to sleep. I'm like, I'm just going to take my laptop and like just do a bit of work while I'm jiggling him in his bouncy. Like, your life is so intertwined that you literally cannot just separate it out. So with Facebook kind of going a bit funny in that direction, I think maybe it is time that we look at other, you know, ways to deliver our value, and LinkedIn might have just been the thing that we've been ignoring, that's been there for such a long time, but maybe this is a good time to like make more use of it and have a little bit of a backup plan, I guess.
I think everyone's been talking about this. Even Neil Patel, I just saw a video by you know, that he just put out a couple of days ago about like making sure to diversify. You have to diversify, you know, in your business, where you're getting your traffic from, where you're getting, you know, where you're delivering all your content, because like, you know, for the most part, unless it's like, you know, your website, right? It's great, you know, if you have WordPress, it belongs to you, and that's wonderful and everything, and you have your email list, which belongs to you. For the most part, things get shut down, things happen. Google can start charging tomorrow for everything they do, and everyone is so dependent on Google. Think about like how much you have connected, you know. Like, they could be like, so, you know, now I have to pay to like even go on Google in the first place, you know, or what, you don't know what anyone can do. So I think the important thing to remember is kind of just to spread yourself around. And I think you're right. I think LinkedIn is probably one of the more underestimated platforms on the internet, but I think it's coming into its own a little bit more, and, you know, getting more popular among marketers and, you know, service providers, online service providers.
Which is great, because at the end of the day, these are the people that we work with. So if we all start establishing a presence over on LinkedIn, then it's one of those things that we have another way to connect apart from just on Facebook. And if you want to learn more about me and, you know, about my crazy baby or whatever not, or one of your 4 little ones, you know, then the place to be is on Facebook, and we can still be normal people, but we can definitely diversify without spreading ourselves too thin. So, okay, I think this is a lot of value to start with. You know, I'm really old school, but I take notes when I talk to somebody, because otherwise
I love that. No, I'm also, you know what, I find when I'm when I want to take notes fast, you know, and I'm taking it from like a class or something, I will do it a lot on the computer. But when I'm really trying to think or like brainstorm or actually like use my brain to like work through things, a lot of times it's on paper because I just need to have that have that written.
Yeah,
I have to. Okay, I got on a call with my friend yesterday, a couple of days ago, and she was telling me all about like just some stuff about to do with webinars and things. And I was like, look, I have to write this down. And I was like,
that is totally me. Like if I have to process it, and the thing is, like previously I was like running a transcript of the interview to then turn it into the blog post, and I'm like, well, I've got a hand and I've got a brain. If I can just put these two things together, then actually I've already got everything that I need. So I'm totally old school, and I started writing notes again, and then I get the best value pieces out rather than all the, you know, all the fluff around it that we talk about. So I'm always like, this is much quicker. So this sounds amazing to me, and it definitely makes me rethink what we do online and where. I know it's all about not being on every platform, but if you know your people are there, then surely, you know, I can manage to build LinkedIn into my system I have for content. So I'm excited to try that out more. Any mistakes, any top mistake that you see people make as a last thing that you think, hey, please don't do that on LinkedIn? It's like a total
Okay, yeah, this just happened, and I'll tell you. Oh my goodness, just in your first message, please don't have spelling mistakes. I'm like, you know what? Like, it's one thing, I'm like, I get, you know, you want to connect, you want to like, I'm like, please just listen, I'm grammar police, you know, and I'm like a closet English teacher. I cannot handle, you know, and it's bad enough when people like shorten things and like text and whatever, but I was like, if it's LinkedIn, this is a professional, please just proofread and don't write, accepting as expecting. Someone did that, and I was like, well, forget it, goodbye. You know, I couldn't even answer because I couldn't even deal with it. But what I just wanted to point out one more thing though, which is also really just valuable in terms of posts, which I forgot, which was another great thing to do is to post wins that you've had for yourself or your clients.
Yeah.
Like you do on Facebook, you know, like you do on Instagram, but like to point, you know, because people want to see consistent, you know, like, wow, you really did this, wow, I just did this. I posted one thing, oh gosh, a while ago. I think it was like, I grew my clients' email list by about 25% in 1 week with 18-cent leads. Okay, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And she did not put that much money behind it, and we were able to do it with a video, and we made it, you know, and it was like the lead magnet was attached to the video, and it was like fantastic. And she grew it by 25% in a week, and I put that up on LinkedIn. You know, and I was like, if you want to know more about like what I do, then, you know, comment below or message me. And I got 4 leads from that one post.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a really, really valuable thing to do to make sure people see that you're succeeding and you're consistently, you know, bringing wins to your clients. So I think that's also a really important thing. Okay, just had to put that in there.
I think we're often like, I don't know if we almost feel ashamed to talk about the things that we actually do well and know well. Like it makes us feel uncomfortable. So we're like,
yeah, makes you feel arrogant and like,
yeah,
you know,
like, I'm just like, hello, look at how amazing I am. Hello,
yeah.
It's like this lady over here. Like, but at the end of the day, like if you don't tell, like if you hide the fact that you're getting results for your clients, then it makes it super difficult for them to know that you get results for people. So at some point, like if you don't tell people what you do, it makes it very difficult for them to hire you because they don't know what you do. So sometimes we just have to get over ourselves. And I always like to combine, I guess if you combine everything that you're sharing with like one valuable thing that somebody else can do, then it's not so braggy, or it doesn't feel so braggy because you're saying, hey, you know, these are the results I got for this client, and if there was one thing that you could do that would help you to achieve the same thing, then try this different method, or look at, you know, maybe trying this different platform and things like that. And then it doesn't feel like you're there to show off. It feels like you are there to show that you can get these results if you maybe try a different strategy. So
yes, like mix it with value, like you know, kind of like put it all together, so it's like your little humble brag and you're also delivering value at the same time. And obviously you shouldn't be doing this all the time because people get tired of it. Okay, they will get tired of it. But every once in a while, just put that out there. Even if you want to like collect your wins up for like a few months and then put out like a nice stacked win post of like, oh my gosh, like look what we've been doing for our clients the past month. This is amazing. I had so much fun. I love working with my clients. We've done this, we've done this, we've done that. And that in itself is enough to like really bring in a lot of interest. So so just you can keep that in mind too. Don't divide them up. Like make them to one power like filled kind of post that like will make people whoa.
Yeah.
can't believe people do that, you know? And so yeah, so I think that's definitely one tactic that's good, that should be used sparingly, but regularly.
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds like a plan. So
yeah.
Where can people go to find out more about you?
Okay, so you can go to my website, yaelbendahan.com. It's just my name.com, and I'm the Yael Bendahan, THE, right? On Facebook, as my Facebook page, on Instagram, on Twitter. I don't get on Twitter that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you can look at my name on LinkedIn. I don't think there are too many Yael Bendahans that do what I do, so you can find me. And I've got this really great freebie. It's not connected to LinkedIn specifically, but it's connected to visibility and like 5 things to do every day to make sure that you are getting visible in your business. When I follow this, I find like amazing results when I'm really like keeping to it, and I'm finding consistent, you know, opportunities to become more and more visible. Yeah. Visibility is kind of like my thing, you know, in different areas. I geek out over it. So, you know, if you want that, you can obviously click the link below. I think I'm pretty sure
if you drop the link in the comments to the freebie, then it's there. And then when I put out the blog post, I'll copy the link over and I'll put it on YouTube as well. So then everyone can go and find it. So.
Awesome. This was amazing. I'm really glad. I really hope I helped you. And like, I cannot wait to see you on LinkedIn, you know, showing up and like with your videos.
I actually have to do something now. So everyone, let's get over on LinkedIn. Let's connect in the first place so we actually have relevant connections on LinkedIn. That's a good start. And then if you have something that you're taking away from today, put it in the comments under this video. Tell us what you are going to do, not going to do, or do differently when it comes to LinkedIn, and then we can all see what we're going to be focusing on. So I've still got my profile to optimize. So that's going to be my thing to finish off. And then I've got to actually share some of my content on LinkedIn and connect with some people.
Well, you've got the content, so all you need to do is get it out there, right? So
I have content like 2 years worth, so I can just take like one piece a week and just share it out. So it's not too bad. I think I'll be fine, but I just have to do it. It's got to go on the plan and get into all my lovely checklists for everything. So we'll do that. Cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and share that with us today. We'll see your link under the video, and then we'll be connecting in a few different places.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Jessica. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. You too. Let me pause this one. Oh, where's my live stream though? Here it is. Ta-da!